Well, hello my YouTube friend. Today it is my utter pleasure to present you simply my ultimate grail. That's what it is. That's what I have in hands now. That's exactly what I was expecting to have for the better part of those 2 years and more actively the last year. This for the aficionados, you know what we have in front of you. This is the Kickstop Hokkaido, my ultimate grail. Actually, I wanted to have an Hokkaido because I have already a knife from Lee Williams. So that's a collaboration between Barker and Williams. So I wanted to have the Hokkaido, for the better part of the couple of years. But I mean, how insane is that? They are absolutely impossible to get. And out of the blue like that, eventually, I got my chance on this one, which is, I mean, over and beyond what I would expect. That goes over and beyond my better expectation, because as I said, a simple Hokkaido would have done the trick. This is just the ultimate grail, because that's the Kickstop Hokkaido. And even more than that, I mean, even more than that, I wanted to have Hokkaido, I have the Kickstop, that's dreamy. And in the Kickstop Hokkaido, I didn't know that finish, but that finish, and we're going to talk about that in the video, that finish is even better for me, because that's exact. I mean, if I would have designed it, it wouldn't have been different than that. So that's just, I didn't even know that it existed. I thought it was, like the dragon tail, the usual dragon tail, some crazy inlays, or the serpent, with the full titanium scale. I didn't even know that this one existed. And now that I have it, I can tell you that it goes over and beyond my better expectation. This is, and will be for a long time probably, my ultimate grail. Sorry, I don't know anything that would make me happier than what I have here. So what do we have actually? John Barker. I mean, you know what? The knife is separated in two for me. You have this part, which is John Barker, and this part, which is Lee Williams. So we're going to talk about John Barker first, the blade, and we're gonna do differently than usual. We're going to talk about the blade, then after that about the scale, which is Lee Williams' part. Okay. So what do we have here? Barker has started making knives, I don't know, about 7-8 years ago. About John, I don't want to do duplicate. I highly recommend you to check Mindless Mark video about him. It's very enlightening video, and he will tell you a lot of things about John the maker, his life, the fact that he's a doctor. I mean, you will learn a lot of things about him. I don't want to do a duplicate. Check his video. It's absolutely perfectly done. I want to talk about the knife itself, So John, makes like, I don't know, 3-4 different design as a blade shape. And the most anticipated and the most acclaimed is this one, the Hokkaido. The Hokkaido is directly an evolution of the grind that was invented by Bob Lum, and that is the American Tanto, actually. Bob Lum created that, and in the industry, Cold Steel developed that a lot also, and they created what we have as a user in hand when we think about the Tanto. The Tanto that we know, the usual shape, that's the American Tanto. It doesn't have anything to do with the Japanese traditional Tanto. For those of you who are interested, I strongly suggest that you check that online, and you will see how a real Tanto looks like. This is the American Tanto. So Bob Lum was really well known for that, and this is exactly an evolution of the grind that was created by Bob Lum. What is amazing about this grind, other than being beautiful, is the complexity that you will see on the tip and everything. We're going to talk about that. Actually, we're going to talk right now. We have here a kind of compound, I would call it a compound grind, because, most of the thing, here it's hollowed, here it's hollowed, here it's a convex. We're going to talk about that. The only flat is here. So basically, I can call that a compound, So we have a flat. Then we have a very nice swedge. The swedge can be really different. I've seen swedge that are dramatically pronounced with a smaller flat here. This one is like that. I like it a lot like that, So a very nice swedge here. So a hollow here. Here a very, very long hollow with the perfect, look at this beautiful hand rubbed. Absolutely fantastic. I'm sorry about the lightning. I wanted to do this video like an emergency, So a very nice hollow here. Very, very nice. The lines are so delicate. It's absolutely pristine. Look at that. I mean, you don't see anything. It's flawless. flawless and so well done that is just incredible. Now the tip. The tip is what is really interesting, because you see this long tip that you have here, and you see the surface of grinding here. Let me see. Yeah, with this exposition you see that. You see, so it's another real surface of grinding. You know, it's really unusual to have a tip like that. So the tip is interesting because here you're going to have a hollow and a V edge as usual on the knife. Here you see the V edge. Here you see it's totally different because here it's convex. But what I want to know, and actually I don't have the answer, and please, John, if you look at this video, or Lee for that matter, or anyone related to Lee or John, if you can ask them, I'm wondering here if that is a Scandi grind here, or it's just a regular grind with a convex edge. So for those of you who don't understand hell what I'm talking about, I made an awful drawing to do a kind of recap. So basically a Scandi grind is a grind that is, all the grind goes to the cutting edge, which at 0, the angle is 0 here. All of the grind goes to that point where is the cutting edge. This is rare. This is the Scandi. Usually it's not like that. Usually that's your regular edge. You're going to have the grind, whatever it is, a flat, a hollow, whatever. You know, you want to make the grind here. And at the end, the cutting edge will be a V, because it's exactly how it looks like, and the angle can go from, depending on the task, from 10 degree to 40 degree even on the V here, okay? Then after that, you have the convex edge. The convex edge is way thicker than this, so it's really more powerful, more, it's harder and it's more sophisticated to do. That's really difficult to obtain, to get a convex edge, so that's really a nice thing to do on a blade, to put a convex edge. Eventually, it creates some sharpening challenges, because when you sharpen that, it's really difficult. This is easy. You can put your angle at 15, 20, whatever the angle is, and you sharpen your knife. Here, it's really challenging to leave the convex edge, and eventually it will transform to a V edge with a lot of sharpening. But that's really difficult to obtain, but you're going to get a tougher point, and this is what I was asking. You know, is that a Scandi like that, or is that an edge, and at the end of the day, at the end of, sorry, the tip, you will get the convex edge. I don't know. If anyone can answer that, I'll be happy to know. Now, the blade. So you see, that's really interesting. Look at that. You have all the blade length is dedicated to cutting task, and it cuts like hell. I mean, the tip here, it's really sharp, absolutely sharp. The same here on the main edge, and that's a functional blade. You got to understand that John is making, I mean, he's an ex-Marine. He's making knives for being a user, and that's a user knife. You know, this knife, they cost now multi-$1,000s, and that's a shame, because you need to, you know, he won't make a lot of knives because he's got a full-time job as an ophthalmologist. So that's unfortunate. So because of the scarcity, the prices have skyrocketed, okay? But that's unfortunate, because here you don't have a collector knife. I mean, you have a knife will be owned by collector, but that's a blade that is designed to be used. This is, look at the tip here. Look at the thickness of the tip. This will penetrate almost everything. Look at the strength, because it's convex, because it's thick like that. That is a nice thruster. For tactical use, perfect. For EDC, absolutely fantastic. I thought it was big and tough and large, but no, not at all. Look at that. It's thin. It's very sleek. It fits perfectly in my hand. You know, no extra length here. Really, it's a perfect EDC. And as a matter of fact, I carry it. I carried it for the better part of the day. So that's a very useful knife. The only task that I wouldn't put at, and I would be ashamed to put it at actually, would be to be a desk knife or a knife that would stay in a shelf or in a safe. That would be really annoying and a shame, because this knife is done, this blade knife is done to be put at use, most definitely. everything's perfect. Maybe I would be happy with a little bit of jimping, but you know, I have to say something because I'm French. I need to say something. The logo, yeah, whatever. They're cool, but I could live without. You know that I like sterile blade. I like the dog actually. And you know what? Hokkaido, for those of you who don't know, is the name of the dog. It's not an island in the north of Japan, as I've heard here and there. It's named about this dog, which is the Hokkaido Inu. John likes dogs. Yeah, most definitely I could live without the CPN 154. That's preposterous. I don't know why all the makers need to put the blade. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's mandatory. I don't know, but this is just, I could live without that. Other than that, perfect. Now, 5 minutes left. We need to talk about Lee's part. Lee's part is one of the best I've ever seen. I mean, first of all, you know, we're going to talk about some points because we don't have much time. Look at the tolerance here. That's literally the tightest tolerance I've ever seen in my life. Even if John likes tight tolerance, believe me, you won't see that tolerance in his knives. That's just insane, insane, absolutely insane. The Kickstop, I've talked about it. It works absolutely perfectly. The engagement on this one is kind of late, but it's a rock solid engagement. What is the highlight on this knife? The highlight is the fact that it's designed for an EDC. Look at that. What can happen to a knife like that if you carry it? I mean, it's a carbon fiber, and you have here a bolster in a very deep orange peel, the same on the other side. Orange peel finish on the clip, copper backspacer. Every junction, let me tell you right now, every junction is flawless. But the most important that I want to talk about, this, oh man, a lot of people can do nice, you know, even if it's not, the complexity is that it's not a straight bolster. You have this like really nice curve here and wave like that. And that only is really difficult to obtain without any gap. You know, very nice to get a bolster like that. But that's nothing compared to the complexity of here. Because here you have a bolster lock, and here, listen, believe me, you don't have absolutely no gap. But that here is a lock. So it's a moving part. And you have to understand that in order to get something that is so neat and so perfectly done, this is, to me, that's just blowing my mind, because that moves. And you have to get the right tension in order to keep the blade in place. And yet the nice, I mean, it has to be to the 1 on 100 precision, or 1,000 even, to be as precise as that. Even here, even with the cut of the lock, you don't feel nothing. It's absolutely flush. So that right there, Lee, if you look at my video, that right there, it's to me, it's the most challenging thing I've ever seen. That's just absolutely perfectly done. And for that, and that tolerance here, that makes it all. The Kickstop, I've talked about that. You know, the mechanism, check my video about the crooks, check the other video done about that. But this is something that I wanted to address more specifically. Look at that, I mean, it's moving. So having this flush junction here is totally insane for me. The tolerance is out of this freaking world. I've never seen that. The action is superb, as I told you. I like the nice touch, you know, the fact that there is kind of jimping here, the cut that you have here that leaves, you know, the inside absolutely flush. And as I said, all the junctions are flush. I mean, it's incredible. The quality, the fit and finish is absolutely incredible. I love the clip design. It makes for a very deep carry. I love, absolutely adore. For those of you who know me, you know that I love when it's a concealed blade like that. Here I can live with the fact that I see the blade, and actually you see the logo here. That's kind of neat. But that is something that I adore. And specifically on this one, with this bird eye that you have here, that is so fantastic. This view right there is just superb. I wish that the blade would be just a little bit longer, you know. I think that there's enough room to make it longer, and this way, you know, when it's open, there will be less of a discrepancy between the blade length and the handle length. It's not a flow, or it's not, you know, that's something that is bothering, but it could be a little bit better, I think, if the blade were a little bit longer. But, you know, as I said, I'm French. I need to ramble. Perfectly flush copper backspacer. Absolutely adore that knife. That is exactly what I wanted to have, and even if I didn't know it, that was what I wanted to have. I would have, you know, take, as I said, any of the Hokkaido, but this one goes over and beyond by better expectation. And for that, I want to thank a lot my brother Scott for Blade Junkie, because he was the one to get me that Marvel Against All Odds. I mean, I don't know how it became available, but it did. So Scott, my brother, thank you so very much for that. This knife is meant to have some pocket time. I will try not to spoil it, because that's absolutely a marvel. And with that being said, my friend, I'll catch you very soon for another video. Bye-bye. It was a